for some U18 London Junior Mustangs football live from Alumni Stadium on the beautiful campus of Western University. It's a beautiful Saturday evening, Ron. The sun is setting so wonderfully in the distant sky, and we got some amazing U18 football coming up. Junior Mustangs versus Essex Ravens. Battle of the rivals. I'm Matt Snyder, and with me in this booth tonight, you're going to hear the sweet, smooth sounds of the godfather of amateur football commentary, Ron Forda. Ron, Essex Ravens, London Junior Mustangs. It's like Tyson Holyfield. It's like the Rock Stone Cold. It's like Michigan, Ohio State. Talk to us about that rivalry.
It is the rivalry in Ontario. I know a lot of people will turn around and say the Battle of Ottawa is bigger between Cumberland and Myers. Consistently, year after year, these are two of the top teams in Ontario. This is one of the, if not the most bitter rivalry that is fueled on respect and admiration and pure hatred of each other. They love to play each other. They respect each other. But for the next 48 minutes of clock time, they're going to hate each other. And then at the end of it, they're going to shake hands and respect each other again. This is, if you like football, if you even like it a little bit, you're going to love this game.
If you even like football a little bit, if you even heard of football once, this is the game to watch tonight. So sit down, get comfy, get your best blanket, find a nice cold drink of something, and get ready for some amazing U18 action coming to you moments away. Kickoff. We got the captains out for the toss, and even the toss might get heated. Yep. I heard somebody called heads and somebody called tails, and there was some choice words shared. I heard there was a cat from London and a mouse from Windsor came across each other in an alley, and let's just say the fur was flying. It's always heated when London and Essex hook up for anything. And I was telling you earlier, there was a 80 and over pickleball championship, and old Gladys from London and Betty from Windsor got into a heated battle and had to call the police. That's what it means when London and Windsor play each other in sports. We got a great game coming up live on London Football TV. If you're tuning in for the first time, well, welcome. Welcome to a great evening of football. But go ahead and click that subscribe button. And if you're a returning viewer, make sure that subscribe button's clicked and get ready for some exciting action. We're going to bring you all of the information you need to be able to enjoy this game. We're going to make you laugh a little bit. We're going to make you cry a little bit. More importantly, Ron, we're going to make you think a little bit. And if you don't like what you hear, we'll just push mute and keep watching because it helps bring our subscribers and our viewer numbers up. And they don't really track the volume. So if you don't want to hear me talk about ball, that's okay. But make sure you stay tuned in. We got a big, exciting game of what I like to call what I would have done, which is where we talk about the things we would have done. National anthem coming up, and then we'll be back shortly. Well, the game plans for London will be pretty simple tonight, Ron. I'm going to let you jump in a second and talk, but essentially I think what you're going to see is offensively, run the football. Defensively for London, try to get Andre Thompson one-on-one and let him do his thing. What do you think, Ron?
Yeah, a lot of times, it's going to be the run game. London's really, we've watched their offense in the last few weeks really grow up and find their rhythm. And it's been led by the dual heads quarterback. Liam Sweeney's really done a great job with it. The running game is dynamic. Any Mustang team, we're going to run the ball. This is kind of our calling card. Essex Ravens, their calling card for years and years and years have been defense and defensive line play. I would expect nothing but the exact same thing. And as all the attention goes to Andre Thompson, don't be surprised if we call Weston Gower's name once or twice in this game.
Oh, Weston Gower out of Medway. The Junior Mustangs offense is always an entity that kind of evolves as the season goes on. I think Coach Kirk, the offensive coordinator, does a great job with that. He just graduated university this year. I saw on Instagram he posted it last week, and I think what he's done is he's really brought the Junior Mustangs to get into getting masters of long sustained drives. Right, yeah. The key for them is they're always able to run the football, and he does a great job of finding out how they're going to run the ball. But consistency in running the ball is key for the Junior Mustangs. As the Essex Ravens kick off, ball will be fielded in the end zone, deep in the end zone. It's going to bounce over the head. Wyatt Cross lets it bounce, and it's going to be a tough start for the Junior Mustangs as they get out. Look, see if they can get out of the end zone. Essex Ravens swarm, and he'll be out to the 1. Is that a mistake to get the ball out to the 1 if he didn't touch it? Because where do they start the drive now? On the 1 yard line, right?
Now they're starting the ball on the 1. I think you would be better off conceding the single at that point, the rouge.
Situational awareness in football is key. One of the things we're going to talk about a lot today is situational football.
109 yards to start the game is it's a tall task for any offense, but it's especially a team that's wired and fired up to play. Hey, this is make or break it time for the Essex Ravens. Coming into this game, they're 1-3. They win, they're still alive in the A flight of the playoffs. They lose, they're pretty much going to be knocked out at this point.
Yeah, and speaking of return game, a lot of people think, oh, you just put your fastest guy back there. Well, you got to have a guy back there with some composure, too, for exactly these types of situations. A little bit of mistake on the return, and Lennon started on the 1 yard line. 3 receivers at the top of the screen for the Junior Mustangs. Hands off to the left. They got a little gap scheme. Big run for the Junior Mustangs there. Cameron Bordeaux out of Lucas with a first down and more. Great start of the game to get out of the shadows of your end zone there for the Junior Mustangs, Ron.
Just a power play that we got coming up here. A big gain of 15 yards. That's a great way to settle everybody down. Let's get one of our bell cows, and there's 3 of them back there that can run the ball with great effect. And, it's just keeping them all fresh, giving them all carries, and they just keep rolling the next one after the next one. But there you see the offensive line for the Mustangs which has really gelled the last couple of weeks. Really doing a great job.
Cross formation motion for the Mustangs as they hand the ball to Bordeaux again. He's got lots of space and more. Bordeaux's wide open down the sidelines. He's got a big chunk to be had and more. Is he going to break the tackle? No. Looks like Essex is going to pursue him at some. Oh, he breaks free and he's gone. Bordeaux's gone. He cut back against the green. Just as I said, the Essex defense was there. Wow, Ron, what a start. You start a drive on your 1 yard line after a slight mistake on the return, and in 2 plays, Bordeaux says, see you later.
Wow, this is what, another thing that you have to think about for the Junior Mustangs, as we saw their passing game really come alive and their defense has really played well the last couple of weeks. It's the run game. It's always been the calling card of this offense. And of all the Junior Mustangs. This is just a straight power play. Do you see the backside guard kicking out, absorbing the block. Bordeaux sneaks up behind it, cuts it outside, and about the 30-yard line, I kind of think, well, he's got a chance here. And extra point is good. And 109 yards on the ground on 2 carries. Cam Bordeaux starts this game with a statement.
109 yards rushing for Bordeaux on 2 plays, averaging 54 yards over 54 yards a play.
Yep.
54 and a half yards a play rushing. Well, I'll tell you what, pretty good numbers so far. Essex Ravens trail after 2 plays. And geez Louise, Cam Bordeaux says, hey, I'm here to play ball. Great start for the Junior Mustangs run game. Great job for the offensive line. You made absolutely the best possible scenario out of that situation because it looked to me like, you might have a bit of problem here kicking off the 1 yard line. My thought was if you don't get a first down, are you probably giving up 2 to start the game?
Yeah.
But here you go. Junior Mustangs take a lead with 10:39 left in the first half. You're watching live on London Football TV. And if you just tuned in, and hopefully you haven't, if you just tuned in, you missed Cam Bordeaux bust a 54 yards on 2 run plays, 109 yards total. 10 yards on the first play and the rest on the second, and Junior Mustangs were up after 2 plays, 7-0, as the Essex Ravens, their vaunted rival from down the 401, are here on a beautiful Saturday night. You got Matt and Ron in the stands ready to talk about some football all night long. We'll be here till the final whistle, and here comes the Junior Mustangs ready to kick off. Who do they got kicking off? Looks like it's Julian Garcia
Yeah.
out of Sab. Deep kickoff. Inside the 10 to the 5. Outside the numbers. Great spot. Junior Mustangs are covering like demons. You got a lot of heat-seeking missiles on the field, and Essex is going to start deep in their own territory inside the 15-yard line, Ron.
Yeah, and we talked about in the first game how the returners did a great job of getting north-south. This is what drives one of my pet peeves as a returner. You're not going to score a touchdown running east-west. You're going to score it going north-south. You're trying to outrun 11 guys pursuing to the ball. Get your lane, and then bounce it at that point. But you got to start going north-south. And now the Essex Ravens have like 98 yards to go for a score.
Of course, if you're playing football in Australia, you want to run south-north.
That's true.
Because it's backwards, right?
Yeah.
But we'll leave that conversation another day. Junior Mustangs on defense. Essex Ravens back to pass on first down. They got a curl route open. Quarterback's going to tuck the ball and scramble. He's going to get 2 for a first down. Facing 2nd and 7. One thing to watch out for, and we already talked about this, is the defensive line for the Junior Mustangs is fierce. Andre Thompson, number 58 out of South Collegiate. He's committed to Western. Weston Gower out of Midway, number 83. He's going back to high school for another year. I don't know who's going to block him in high school. Good luck if you got Medway on your schedule this year, because Gower's coming like a freight train. You got
95.
Nathan Cantor playing the short side end. He's going to stand up and rush the passer all day. And then 95. Who's 95? Oh, Liam Santos playing one tech. Junior Ravens throw a curl route on first down. Great throw in there for a first down and more. That's a tight throw. That's a U18 throw. You can see a little differences between the U16 and the U18 action. And that's one of the examples. That throw was in a window. First down for the Ravens there, Ron.
Number 17, Nolan Bryans is the quarterback for the Essex Ravens. Does a good job of really delivering the ball with authority and just zipping the ball in there. And this is a first-year varsity player. So this is one of the things that you're seeing with these teams. They're both very, very young. Mustangs got a bunch of holdovers from last year's championship team. Essex basically graduated everybody.
Handoff up the middle for the Essex Ravens on that split zone play where nowhere to be had. Trying to run the ball at Andre Thompson is it's going to be a long day if that's your game plan. Junior Mustangs defensive line holds tough. 2nd and 9 here for the Ravens. Down by 7. 2 big plays to start. Punched it in for the Mustangs. Cam Bordeaux gets 10 yards on first down and then takes it 99 yards. On the second play of the game for the score, cutting back against the grain as he looked like he was for sure to be tackled. And the Junior Mustangs have an early lead here. The sun is setting. It's a beautiful hue in the air. It's a little hot out, but I don't mind.
Beautiful hue in the air?
Beautiful hue. It's a nice vibrant hue. What do they say? Pink sky at night, sailor's delight. Well, pink sky at night, football's delight because it's a beautiful night to watch the football. And if you're not able to come down here, get on YouTube, which you probably already are if you're hearing this. Click subscribe and stay with us all night. We're here till the last kickoff. 4 receivers top of the screen. A lot of motion for the Ravens. Quarterback back to pass, turns, fakes the run. He's going to sprint out. Pressure in his face.
That's a fumble.
Daniel Wojnarowski puts the ball out. Junior Mustangs look like they have recovered. And if this is the Junior Mustangs ball, which it is, we got trouble in paradise if you're an Essex Ravens fan, because the Junior Mustangs are going to take over inside the 15, leading 7-0.
Okay.
And tough start for the Ravens, Ron.
There is a flag, though, and is it obstruction from recovering?
Yes. So what is that? Explain to me what obstruction for recovering is.
You can't, if the ball's on the ground and there's another team going to try to pick it up, you cannot prevent them from picking the ball up by blocking them or something like that. That is called obstruction. So it's a holding call is basically how they indicate it, which is exactly what they did. Long story short, it's first down for the Essex Ravens after the non-recovery is awarded to the Essex Ravens.
So essentially what you're saying is if there's a fumble ball, you can't try to interfere with another player and recover it. You just have to try to recover the football.
Exactly.
Okay, so Essex gets the ball back at the end of all that. First down and 10. They're backed up inside their 15 to 14-yard line. A lot of motion. 2 receivers in motion. Bringing one back across grain. Essex hands the ball off at the middle. Nowhere to go. First down, loss of yards. It'll be 2nd and could be 11, could be 9, depending on the spot.
I think they're going to give them the 1 yard, but if your plan is to run inside against this defense, I think you need to come up with plan B pretty quick, because there's not been a lot of teams that's had success running against that defensive front. And no offense to the Essex Ravens, I don't envision that happening tonight.
It's a tough front to run against. They got some big dogs in the middle. We talked about Andre and Weston Gower. Cantor playing the short side end has been all over the field so far. Looks like some pressure coming from Coach Haldenby. He's going to back out of that. Essex back to pass. Has a dig right over the middle. Ball's tipped in the air. Looked like it was prone for an interception. It'll fall short, bringing up a punt situation for the Ravens. Essex will punt from the 14-yard line. Too far out to give up the 2, Ron. You're likely going to kick this and give it.
You're going to kick this ball.
Let London play some return game. So we got 2 guys back. Looks like that's
number 14 and
Anthony Green and
number 0.
Wyatt Cross back to return for the Junior Mustangs. Essex punter will stand just inside the 1 with his heels on the goal line. They're in that shield, that American-style shield punt look that everybody seems to be running nowadays. Ball is back. Essex is going to give up 2 and play the field position game. It'll be 9-0 Junior Mustangs. Interesting choice, though. Looks like Coach Mills decides, hey, it's still a lot of ball to be played. And he's right, a lot of football to be played. Let's play the field position game against this powerful Junior Mustangs offense. So London will take over on offense. They'll likely scrimmage here from the 35-yard line.
Yeah. So here, why do you give up those 2 points? It's basically like this. You're going to punt the ball and say the Mustangs return it to, say, about the 45, 40-yard line. Okay? By giving up the 2 points, you're going to gain all the way back to the 35. Those 40 yards of field position is drastic.
So essentially you're forfeiting 2 points to gain 40 yards and the chance to play defense. Junior Mustangs come on offense. Sweeney in the gun. 3 receivers to the top of the screen. Fullback to the top of the screen. Turns, hands off outside to Bordeaux. Bordeaux on the outside zone. He's got space.
This is number 19, I believe.
19. Ethan Christensen.
Yeah, 19.
Ethan Christensen out of Laurier High School with a first down run. Gain of 7. Second of 3. He's a young player that's got a lot of promise. I've seen him play a bunch. I've watched him actually play quarterback at his high school this year due to an injury to DJ, and he's a player that you want to keep your eye on because he's a young guy, but he's really made a name for himself in the football community as a guy that's up and coming. So look to see him get some carries in relief of Bordeaux today as well. 2nd and 3 here for the Stangs. Sweeney in the gun. He's got Christensen beside him, 2 receivers each side. Fullbacks to the top of the screen. Sweeney turns, fakes the handoff. He's going to throw the ball in the curl route.
Nice ball.
He's got Will McBurney, Western commit, over the middle. He's got space to run. McBurney is running for days over the 40 to the 30. Huge chunk of space. He threw the ball all the way to the sidelines to the right side of the screen, and he ends up getting tackled all the way to the sidelines on the left side of the screen, about 40 yards downfield. So what a run after catch. They call that yak yards after catch there, Ron. Talk to us about that completion.
Just, really, McBurney is a physical receiver that a lot of times with the passing game, it takes a couple weeks to kind of click. And we saw that earlier, kind of that when they played Burlington, the passing game kind of woke up. McBurney's your third option at receiver for the Mustangs. And that's, now that they're starting to develop, they're so deep at that position.
Sweeney turns, throws the ball to
14.
Anthony Green on the hitches route, little short hitch play. And he's got a first down after the catch. Looks like, as the sticks move, we're correct. Sweeney's really dealing it so far, slinging the ball out to the flats, getting the ball out quick, on time, call those rhythm throws. He looks pretty crisp so far. Junior Mustangs knocking on the door. First down on the 16-yard line, Ron.
When Sweeney delivers the ball in rhythm, this offense is really dynamic. When he has to clutch it, the timing just gets right off.
Christensen in the gun behind Sweeney. Fullback Lucas Wong moves. Sweeney takes the snap. He's going to throw the ball again. He's got Drake over the middle. Going to get bumped off his route and incomplete. Looked like he was trying to hit Drake over the middle on the post route. Just couldn't find him. Drake Logan from South. He's a dynamic player as well. They got a lot of talent at receiver for these Junior Mustangs, don't they? Holy crow.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, you're talking about McBurney, who's the Western commit. He really is. He's the number 3 option. And there's not a lot of teams at this age level that have 3 receivers that well. And that's the difference between week 1 versus week 3 is the offense started to click. And the timing got shored up. And Drake Logan returning in that week made a huge difference.
Sweeney back to pass. He's got Logan on the corner route. Wide open. He was open. Looks like.
Wow.
I don't know about that.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'd like to see that. He gets tugged on this.
Don't say it. Don't say it, Ron. Don't say it. Absolutely. But yeah, we all know, but don't say it. We all know. We all know what you're thinking. We all know what you're thinking. We all know. But we don't want
I'm
to
not-
second guess the refs. But
I'm
we
not-
all know. We all know what you're thinking.
Well,
And you're right. We all get it. You're right.
for the record, I am retired. They
But
can
we're not
be mad at me.
we're
all
not
they
going to
want,
say it.
but-
We're not going to say it. We're not going to be those guys, but we all agree that was likely a pass interference that wasn't called because of the fact that the defensive back in a trail position obstructed the receiver with his hand. Junior Mustangs send the field goal team out looking to take a 12-0 lead. Kick is up. It is wide. It'll be returned. Essex Ravens returner is out. Ball will come out to the 20, out to the 10. The ball comes out to the 20-yard line. Unfortunately, a missed field goal there. Great drive after the turnover. Stanks come out throwing in that drive, really slinging the ball around. Sweeney spread it around, trying to hit all 4 of his targets. Unable to come away with points. Essex takes the ball at the 20-yard line run. Talk about the drive you just saw.
It was a good drive because, again, it's after the first 2 plays that you ran the ball, you got another running back in there as well. So you start to see the rotation at running back position starting to click a little bit. And then to get your dynamic playmakers at the receiver position involved, you know, you've planted the seed that Drake Logan is going to be a target in this game. He didn't catch them, okay? But again, it's just the ability to make you look and have to respect all 4 receivers on the field. It's going to make for a long day for the Essex Ravens.
Play action for Essex. Intercepted. Oh, my gosh. 2 turnovers in a row. Leonard Junior Mustangs going to take the back. Liam Haggerty.
Touchdown.
Oh, that's not Haggerty. That's Jacob Rowley from South. Touchdown. Junior Mustangs.
Oh, they're saying he stepped out at the 6.
Stepped out at the 6. What a call. What a call from the refs. Great eyes. Great eyes. What a play, though. Sorry, Ron.
We talked about rhythm and on-time throws and how sometimes if you clutch it, your timing's off. There's the exact example. Quarterback kind of clutches it and hesitates in throwing this. Instead of it being thrown on time in rhythm, it's thrown a little bit behind him. And now we've got a 1st and goal from the 6-yard line as Sweeney has an opportunity to go up big in the early going of the first quarter.
2 turnovers for Essex so far, and London is attacking. Junior Mustangs attacking, leading 9-0. First down and goal from the 6-yard line. Sweeney in the gun. He's got Christensen beside him. Lucas Wong playing fullback. 3 receivers to the top of the screen. A lot of motion for the Mustangs. Sweeney turns. He's going to throw the corner out to Drake. Touchdown. Wide open. Not even a stole near him. The motion really caused some confusion for the secondary for Essex, and Drake Logan says, "Here I am," and Sweeney says, "Here you go," and the Junior Mustangs say, "We're up 2 scores early in the first half. 15-0, 3:22 left in the first quarter. Junior Mustangs have a controlling lead at the start. Drake Logan with the bright orange gloves. Easy to find him when he's wide open. Great throw there from Sweeney. Touchdown. PAT is good, and the Junior Mustangs lead 15-0. 16-0 with the extra point. What a start, Ron. What a start.
Yeah, you know what? You've had couple great runs by Cam Bordeaux. Great play on the kickoff coverage by the Mustangs. And the defense is capitalized. So all 3 phases of the game seem to be clicking. And it was a great throw. It was a great route combination with that drag basically coming from that 3rd man out. It creates a natural pick. Nobody made contact with each other, but the defenders got, just with the motion, they're in man coverage, and they just got balled up against each other, and he's wide open.
We were making some predictions before the game, and everybody picked London to win except for Cantor over there. Our stats producer said he thought Essex was going to win by 30, so I'm just teasing. He picked London to win, too. London leads 16-0, 3:22 remaining in the first quarter. You're watching live on London Football Television. Matt Snyder and Ron Ford are bringing you the best play-by-play you're going to hear on this channel today. I can't guarantee that'll last. I don't know if there's another game after this, but at least until about 10:30, the best commentary you'll hear on this channel. Live, Junior Mustangs defense will come on the field looking to play another strong series against this Essex Ravens offense that has, to be honest, struggled to start the game. They're wearing all blacks, Junior Mustangs in white with purple jerseys. They got the silver helmets. They look pretty crisp out there with the all white or the white tops. Nice, cool Saturday evening. They look fast and dynamic. Andre Thompson strolls out to defensive end. You got Weston Gower playing 3-tech. That defensive line to the top of the screen is fierce and rugged, and I think you're going to have trouble if your game plan is to run the ball. Essex brings the slot back receiver in motion, trying to run power to around the horn. Not a lot of space. Call it gain of 4. It'll be 2nd and 6 for the junior Mustangs. Essex Ravens have struggled, but they've remained committed to trying to run the ball between the tackles, Ron.
Well, if your game plan, if you're trying to establish the run, you keep going to it because eventually you're hoping things are going to work for you. And I see too many young offensive coaches, get out of their thing and start panicking and like, oh, well, we're going to try this, we're going to try this. You see both of these teams, look, this is what our DNA is. This is what we're going to do.
Essex Ravens come out 3 receivers top of the screen. Tight end to the bottom. They got a sole receiver down to the bottom of the screen. Back to pass. Outbreaking route. They're going to take that throw and they're going to complete it for a gain of 1. We'll call it 3rd and 5. The one thing about these two teams is both excellent coaching staffs. Yeah. Both excellent. Coach Mills has been the head coach of Ravens for, I don't know, forever.
Yeah.
Coach Demore running the offense. He's, you don't get many more experienced guys coaching at the OSFL than Coach Demore. He's seen a lot of ball and he's done a lot of good things. And he calls a great offense. Offensively, for the junior Mustangs, Coach Kirk has done a great job, always does a great job of assessing where the strength lies. And, the junior Mustangs, they might struggle the first couple of games, but by week 3 or week 4, they're usually pretty good. And he's got a pretty good beat on what their team's going to be strong at, and they usually play their best football at the end of the year, which is what you want. Coach Wilson does a great job. Coach Haldenby, the defensive coordinator for the junior Mustangs, he's a London legend, and he loves to bring the pressure. Big return here for the junior Mustangs. Flag on the play, though. We'll see where it goes. It looks like Rowley's going to break. Anthony Green's going to break open a touchdown. Hopefully the flag comes. The flag's going to bring it back. Could be a holding or a block on the back.
You got a pedestrian block on the side.
Pedestrian block. Explain what a pedestrian block is, Ron.
So there are couple flags that the couple plays that the referees in football is trying to get out of the play. You can't crack back towards your own goal line, okay? Like in a direct line, which is what I think that was happening there. The pedestrian block, though, is if you are outside of designated area of say like 7 to 10 yards, you can't touch somebody, which means you can't lay somebody out on the far side of the field because you're blocking and then you decide to throw him to the ground. He's out of the play. You guys are out of the play. Disengage, and the play's like 30 yards away.
Yeah, those like meaningless blocks that are just like that has nothing to do with the play. You're not going to have an impact on the play. Just looking to inflict, some punishment. So it's a penalty. It's a huge penalty. It's a big point of emphasis the last few years of trying to get those plays out of the game. And unfortunately, the junior Mustangs took one of those, and it's going to cost them a chance for a touchdown here. And they're going to be marched back. Although they'll stay on offense, it'll be first down for the Mustangs. When after the referees march it off, they'll be around midfield, maybe just shy of the 55-yard line.
It's a big. So
that's a 25-yarder. It looks like two of them.
They're marking both of them off.
Okay.
So the blindside pedestrian block, and then there's also a hold on there. So that's your 25 yards worth of penalty yards. So the Mustangs, instead of being up 25-0 at this point, they got the ball at their own 53-yard line.
One of my favorite parts of doing these games with you is when there's multiple penalties and you start playing the Beautiful Minds game, trying to assess the yardage and explain it to me, and you're like Russell Crowe with the math equations in the air in your mind, and I just sit back and wait, and then the referees march off. I say, okay, first down from the 54-yard line for the junior Mustangs here. A lot of motion. Offside. Ooh, that didn't time out very well.
No, this should be blown dead.
Yeah, Drake's going to make the play here. This will go back. Junior Mustangs were offside by about 4 steps on an ill-timed motion play.
See, and again, this drives me nuts. The offensive player has crossed the line of scrimmage. Technically, it's a dead ball foul at this point. Doesn't matter what happens on the play. Even if it was a fumble, it's going back 5 yards. Blow the whistle, stop the play. That's it. Play's over. Moving back 5 yards. Let's go.
I think typically if the player comes from outside of the tackle box, they may let the play go. And then if there was an interception, for example, they may give Essex the opportunity to decline that. But if it's an inside the tackle play, like an offensive lineman goes outside, they're going to blow it dead. In that situation, it was a receiver, but he was awfully tight to the box because of his motion.
Yeah,
I agree with you. I probably would have been inclined to call that dead just because when you get guys going offside and then kind of stopping and realizing they made a mistake, you get a situation where you get players in the field that are not prepared to protect themselves from contact. So you create a situation where maybe an injury could happen. But unfortunately, fortunately in our case, it didn't happen. Drake's wide open down the middle. They're going to take a shot here to Will McBurney, although they had Drake wide open on the post route on that divide route for miles. And if he had seen him, they would probably be putting another touchdown on the board for the junior Stangs. But they go to McBurney, incomplete by a fingernail and a half. If he cut his fingernails last night, that probably resulted in the drop. So
one of the things I was literally up here observing, the Essex Ravens safeties are capped at 11 yards. So that go route or that corner or something deep in a seam, it's going to be open if they don't adjust their safety back by another 2 or 3 yards, which doesn't sound like much, but it makes a huge difference. Guys, you're going to see the balls going over your head all day.
Connor Steary for the Stangs down. Looks like a cramping situation. Hopefully he'll be back in a couple plays as the trainers help him to the sidelines. Second down and
lineman too.
Big lineman, yeah, big old lineman. AA champion a couple years ago in our Junior Mustangs U16 squad. Second and 15 here for the Stangs, just shy of midfield. They lead 16-0 with a minute left in the first quarter. Beautiful night here, Ron, for some U18 OSFL football. Two real fierce rivals battling. I don't know if it gets much better than this, man. Pretty good little way to spend a Saturday night if you like ball like we do. A lot of motion for the Stangs. Offside again. I don't know if that's a problem with the snap count. They're going to take a shot here to McBurney. But 2 plays in a row where the motion has really been a problem for the Stangs, and they're just having a bit of trouble getting it timed up. I don't know if that's a snap count issue or they're leaving too early on the motion indicator, but regardless, something they got to clean up on the sidelines.
Yeah, that's something that you got to get that under control like quickly here. Obviously Essex is going to decline that. That's why why you said it. You let it play out because you can decline the penalty, which is exactly what Essex has done. Mustangs bring the punt unit out. I've always been if it's one player or another player, if he's offside and it's offense, blow it dead.
Shield punt formation for the Junior Stangs here. They'll kick the ball to the Essex Ravens. They got 2 returners deep, standing just inside the 20 around the 23-yard line. Punt is back. Snap is back. Punt is up. Nice punt. It's going to hang real high. Caught on the run. Clean. Returner is pinned to the sidelines. He got about 7 yards. Did a good job getting it back, but wow, what a punt. A lot of hang time. Great placement. That was beautiful. If you're a kicking fan, if you're a fan of kicking game football, that was a beautiful sight to be seen, Ron.
It is a third of the game, and in the Canadian game, if you don't have a kicker, you are in trouble, and that is a great job. Also, just pinning them to the sidelines. Not only was a high booming punt allowing your coverage team to get down there, it was exactly where you needed the punt to be.
The hang time and the placement. Yep. My wife asked me, how important are kickers? I said, they're not that important unless you don't have one. Then they're very important.
Hey, I'll say it once. I'll say it a million times. Kickers are people too.
Kickers are people too, according to Ron. Illegal formation here for the Ravens. They got to get somebody on the end of the line of scrimmage. We'll see as the quarterback. They got an illegal formation there. I don't know why they didn't roll that dead because that was illegal. Quarterback keeper for a gain of 5, 6. Call it 2nd and 4. I looked to me like that was illegal formation, Ron. What do you think?
I thought they had a tight end on the far side.
I thought they had too many guys off the line. I think that they were illegal formation there. Unless they had 2 guys to the field on the line. Looks to me like
they had a tight end and a receiver on the line.
We'll see. See if we can replay that. See if we can pause that.
Tight end's there. And they
have maybe you're right, Ron.
Yeah.
They're tricking me with their little tricky, unbalanced formations there. That's why we pay you their big bucks, Ron. That's why you get 2 Gatorades in the booth per game. Because you're keen Hawkeyes.
Yellow. I like the yellow Gatorade. Anyway.
It's the best one. What's your favorite kind of Gatorade? Yellow. 3 receivers, top of the screen. Essex Ravens are starting to move the ball. 2nd down, back to pass. Got a receiver out to the sidelines. Great throw. Unable to complete it. That was a nice toss there.
That was a great toss. It was a good route, too.
Just a hair low. And that'll end the first half. It'll be 3rd down and 5 for the Essex Ravens here as we flip ends of the field. Ball on the 27-yard line. They'll be sending the punt team out, I imagine. Junior Mustangs lead 16-0. And while we have a break, let's talk to you quickly about amazing opportunity we have today, fundraiser opportunity called Support KJ Cares. So the KJ Cares fundraiser is a fundraiser in memorial of a great man and a guy that put a lot of time and his heart and soul into the Junior Mustangs, Coach Kennemy, one of our dear friends and a longtime coach, president, equipment manager, orderer, bus orderer, advisor, everything. He did it all. He did it all for the Junior Mustangs, who passed away suddenly a few years ago. So what we're asking you to do if you're watching today's game is make a donation to the fund through the YouTube Super Thanks opportunity through the YouTube app. If you're watching on your TV, get your phone out and do it right now. The funds raised will go towards the KJ Cares fundraiser charity drive, which is basically in place to allow players that may have financial impediments to playing for the Junior Mustangs program to be able to sign up and register for us. One of the things that Coach Kennedy cared about immensely was making sure that finances were never an obstacle to allow players to play for this program. And he wanted to make sure that anybody that had the skill set and the right and the desire to play here was able to play regardless of their financial situation. So your donations will go towards helping those guys cover their fees so we can continue to offer the game to all the guys and gals that want to play regardless of any sort of financial impediment. So go ahead and donate today. Our goal is to collect $50 for this stream. We're getting close, but we need your donations. The next live donation will make a little shout out on the air as the Ravens punt the ball. Short punt, it's going to bounce out of bounds on the 45-yard line. London's going to start with pretty good field position here, leading by 16, Ron.
Yeah, really good field position for the Mustangs. And again, they really kind of dominated this first half of football so far. This could be 25. We had the touchdown called back on the blocks there. So Mustangs with the ball, they're going to start it at the 46-yard line, and we've seen the kicking game. This is already a first down. You're going to be in field goal range here at this level. So the Ravens really got to bow their neck on defense. If they're going to give up points, it's got to be 3. Giving up a touchdown here and it's being down 20 points early in this game, that's going to make for a long day.
Handoff to Christensen around the edge. He's going to bounce, and he's got a lot of space to the short side of the field. He's going to have enough for a first down and more. The offensive line for the Junior Mustangs is really leaning forward and driving the defensive line for the Essex Ravens off the ball. Christensen's very patient there, very patient, tucks behind the tackle and then bounces late. And I love the tackle getting downfield and really pushing that pile from behind at the last second. That's the relentless attitude that's going to lead to championships. So the Junior Mustangs offense is moving here. You got Nate Sweeney at quarterback. He's out of Sab, the Bulldog from Sab. Leads the offensive charge. Lucas Wong at fullback, where number 44 has been a big force so far. Christensen at running back. Motion down from the slot, or for the wide receiver. They're going to throw a screen to Lalibert. He's got a lot of space. He's going to break open. Just a shoestring tackle. Saved that from being a touchdown. Junior Mustangs will have first down on the 10-yard line. This is a nice little screenplay to the slot receiver after the motion.
That's the 5th receiver that's targeted in this game already today.
Coach Kirk doing a great job spreading the ball around, keeping Essex off balance by throwing the ball to multiple targets. You can't focus your coverage on one guy with the way the Junior Mustangs are spreading the ball around. Sweeney's in the shotgun here. Christensen in the pistol. Offset gun, one running back, fullback in a tight end position to the left side, bottom of the screen. Slot receiver goes in motion. Bumbled snap. Looks like a little bit of a attempt at a trick play there. Ron, I don't want to second guess Coach Kirk, but if that was an attempt at a trick play, isn't that the time to run a trick play?
No.
You're leaning on Essex on offense.
I don't think it's a trick play. I think it's just a
bad timing.
I think its timing was off and there's no way in the world on the 20-yard line that you're running a trick play when you're getting like 10, 12 yards of carry.
Bad timing, bad unfortunate breaks, but that's football. But the turnover ends what was a promising Junior Mustang drive, which could have really been the dagger early in the first half.
Okay, but that's 2 now that Mustang's mistakes has cost potential touchdowns. So Essex is, they're bowing, they're bending, but they're not breaking, forcing the Mustangs to make an error.
Junior Mustangs got to tighten it up a little bit as the Essex Ravens back to pass. Quarterback's going to scramble for space. He's getting pursued by Gower. He's around the edge. Gower's right there. He doesn't get a sack, but there's not much to be had for the Ravens quarterback there. The defensive line is being ferocious in their pass rush, really forcing the issue for the Essex Ravens quarterback. He doesn't have a lot of time to set up and throw downfield.
No, there's absolutely no time for him to set up. And we knew this kind of coming into it today, that it was going to come in wave after wave after wave. There's 4 of them that can come, and then you bring the linebacker pressure on top of that, and it's like, man, this is such a hard defense, and here they come with pressure.
2nd and 9 here for the Ravens. Quarterback back to pass. He's got a receiver in the flats. Thompson is chasing him down. Andre Thompson gets his hands on him, and Andre Thompson ends it effectively.
Yeah, and again,
big sack from Andre.
And I would expect, considering they gave the safety last time at this point, the 2 points, 16 to 18, is not going to make a huge difference. I'd see the Essex Raven giving up the deuce here. But if Andre Thompson doesn't, we said his name earlier today. Weston Gower was screaming down as well. And
pick your poison,
yeah, if it's not one, it's the other one. And Cantor is blazing off the other side. It's like, what do you do if you're Essex?
You can only get help to one of them. Essex Ravens have done a lot of like free release, emptying their backfield, letting their back out in the flats. So playing some 5-man pressures. You might want to think about getting into some 7-man pressures and really getting some help to the tackles, to the ends, especially on Thompson. You want to make sure, hey, we got somebody kind of chipping on Thompson if we don't get some kind of pressure in the gut where the back has to pick up that pressure. Maybe we can get the back to help on Thompson and give us an extra second. You're going to obviously lose guys in the routes, but you got to get some time for this quarterback to find guys downfield if your game plan is to throw the ball downfield. Essex give up the single or the safety like you predicted. 18-0 now, a 3-score game for the Junior Mustangs. We got 8:51 left in the first half. Junior Mustangs are up. They scored on the first drive of the game, 2 plays in. Bordeaux, 10-yard run, 94-yard run. 99-yard run to start the game. Haven't seen him since. Interesting to think about that. Haven't seen him since. Since that drive, Christensen has taken over as running back. Sweeney's in the gun at quarterback. 3 receivers top of the screen. Drake is at the 3rd spot, close to the quarterback. Motion. They're going to hand the ball to Wyatt Cross now around the edge, the 3rd back in the game for the Junior Mustangs. It is pretty awesome when you have a plethora of running backs so you can just churn out, hey, our first guy went down. Okay, now we're going to put in Christensen. Oh, we got this other kid named Wyatt Cross who's really fast. It is hard to play defense against a team that's just able to churn out back after back after back, Ron.
I'll even give you another one. Javon Roberts hasn't touched.
Javon Roberts. I haven't seen Javon Roberts on the field yet. I'm not sure if he's dressed, but he's another guy that, like, at some point he's going to get his carries if he's playing, and he's a big force that he had too. So.
I actually think he's not here this week.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense
because unfortunate.
You feel like you'd see him at this point. He's a pretty good carry. Jet sweep to White Cross. White Cross around the edge. Oh my gosh, he shook the defensive player for the Essex Ravens out of his shoes. He literally shook him to the ground, and he turned nothing into something. First down for the Junior Mustangs and more. White Cross is crossing guys up on the field with the football, and he does the old jump cut. White Cross is here to place a ball tonight on Saturday night.
That's an impressive, like, we talked about, Summers in the JV game, kind of BYOB, bring your own blocker. He brought a couple blockers with him, and that was that's incredible to watch. The ability to change direction as quickly as he did was very impressive.
Looks like a young Ron Ferwerda's highlight tapes. If they had TikTok back when you played, Ron,
nope,
you would have got a lot of likes. Let's just say that.
We had tick, not talk.
Sweeney's throwing pass interference there. He pushed him in the back. Sweeney had the post route over the middle, trying to take a shot, and the Essex Ravens will take a 15-yard penalty for pass interference. So it'll be first down plus 15 for the Ravens. I like the way Sweeney's played so far this game. Very composed. Very, he's on rhythm on the short throws. He's taking the shots, the deep throws, putting the ball in great spots. He has looked like a quarterback destined to take control in that ongoing quarterback battle between him and Nate, big Nate from Saunders.
Yeah.
Sweeney's, so far Sweeney's playing good enough that you can't take him off the field. He looks pretty solid, and he's making the throws that need to be made. And the Junior Mustangs will be up 15. First down inside the 30-yard line as they approach the Ravens end zone, leading 18-0 here, Ron.
Yeah, and again, it's just we saw Sweeney come in 2 weeks ago, and the offense it's looked different since that point. And Mariza's come in under the short yardage as well. And he's had some opportunities.
Inside zone play to Christensen, who's got space to run. Great block up there. They got a great double team to the top of the screen from the guard and tackle.
I think they're going to call it a holding on that, though, just from where the flag came in. But it's looked different. And I said it 2 weeks ago during that Burlington game. It's like we're watching the offense grow up.
Yeah.
We're kind of seeing that they've got something going. And last week in Waterloo, it got ugly, and it got ugly fast.
Yeah.
And to say nothing bad about Waterloo, that's a good football team.
Mm-hmm.
But they were out of their league really quickly in that game. And
one thing I noticed about the Junior Mustangs is they just have so much depth. They got 6 receivers that can play.
yeah,
They got 3 running backs. Like we just saw Cross play great.
4.
And
There's 4.
and he looks awesome. Plus Roberts isn't even here.
Yeah.
Quarterback, they're too deep there. Offensive line, they're pretty solid. This is a good Junior Mustangs football team.
Speaking of quarterback, here he is.
Big Nate, and a quarterback for the Stangs. The Saunders Sabre, straight out of Saunders.
Yeah, he's gonna run this ball.
He's athletic as heck. He is athletic as heck. Possible zone reader, quarterback inside run play. He's gonna back to pass. Got a fade in the end zone. Touchdown. Oh, great play at the end, Lalaberty. Is that how you say his name? Lalaberty?
Sure.
That's what I'm going to say.
We're going to go with that.
Until he tells me wrong.
I think I called him Lafayette last time.
My
or
bad.
Something like that. Or
I feel like that's how it is.
it's
He knows who we're talking about. The big guy that catches all the touchdowns for the Junior Mustangs, number 11.
and again, that was a guy that last year was kind of the Robin of the group. He's really developed into Batman this year. And it's the abundance of riches. You just look across the board there, and it's like they're so deep. And this is such a young team. That's the scary part.
So talented.
Yep.
He's on the hawk play.
Touchdown.
He's got McBurney for the touchdown. That's an easy one. Touchdown, Mustangs.
This is kind of what we talked about. Like that hawk play, that where you get that third guy doing that under route. It's so hard to defend, especially because what the Mustangs are doing is they're bringing a guy in on that, so that it's creating that natural pick. They're just the defenders they're in trail positions. They just can't catch up. They just can't get enough bodies there quick enough to get there.
PAT here for the Junior Mustangs is good. 25-0. We got 5 minutes and 53 seconds left in the half. Junior Mustangs lead 25-0. You're watching live on London Football TV. And if you haven't clicked subscribe, go ahead and punch that subscribe button with all your might. Either because you love what you hear or you hate what you hear. You can click it for spite. We're okay with that, but we got to get you to subscribe so you can stay in tune with all of the football action coming up the rest of this summer. And in the fall, we got some great high school football coming up ahead of you as the fall starts to get there. We got a lot of summer left, though, before we talk about fall, Ron. But at some point, the fall is going to be here, and we're going to have some high school football in here. But you can't follow unless you subscribe. That's the key.
Exactly.
You got to subscribe. So go ahead and click subscribe. And while you're at it, why don't you throw a donation to the KJ Cares fundraiser drive that we've been talking about all day today. And we'll keep talking about it. But it's a great drive where we're going to try to raise some money for the KJ Cares fundraiser, which is going to help us offset the cost for some players that want to have the opportunity to play, but maybe have some financial impediments that are going to make it difficult for them to pay their fees to play this year. Well, this is how we get them on the field, because we can't have any player not playing this great game of football because money should not be an obstacle to football. So help us out by donating as the Junior Mustangs kickoff to the Ravens. Return is short, around the 26-yard line. Essex come on offense, desperately needing a score here, Ron.
Well, what you got to do is put together a drive. We can't think score. Yeah, we need scores, but we have to think. Let's get a first down, and let's get 2 first downs. Let's get a drive going. Let's get some consistency going on offense, and then at that point, a score will look after itself. So, I know it's a very, very young Essex Ravens team over there, and I know that they've struggled this year, but I don't expect anything but a fight from them from the very end.
Is there anything they can do different to try to kickstart or spark the offense as they run a split zone play and Andre Thompson just stands up the slot back there? Is there anything they can do different to try to kickstart an offense that's, to be honest, struggled a little bit the first half?
I kind of like what the JVs were doing earlier today, and I know it's a different coaching staff and a different game, but I like that step-off screen. I like the smash concepts. I like what they were doing at different points in that game. And it's a good way of getting movement with your receivers and making an easy completion for your quarterback, who has struggled to put the ball in play.
Get the ball in a little bit of rhythm. A little quick game action would be nice to kind of relieve some of the pressure that you're facing from that defensive line. As they run inside zone play, Andre Thompson rips through, forces the back to cut back, nowhere to go. The defensive line is fierce, and the linebackers are swarming. Haggerty's in on that tackle as well, from what I can see. First down for the Ravens, but just by a touch. They get a first down there, which is a positive
But he had to cut that back
Yeah.
totally against the grain.
Yeah.
Because if he would have went to where it was supposed to go, it was stood up and it was 3 yards in the backfield.
Andre Thompson's been a dominant force so far. First down for the Ravens, 40-yard line. They're trailing by 25 points. They got a lot of work to do to catch up here, but they got a drive going to start. Motion from the quarterback. He's back to pass. Empty formation. They're going to throw a screen. Holy crow.
Wow.
Somebody had watched their film this week because that was almost a pick six there. Who was that for the Junior Mustangs?
I can't quite see the number on that. I
Cole-
want to say it's number
Cole
16?
Fisher?
18.
Jacob Rowley out of South almost took that back to the
Wow.
house. He watched some film and saw something. He saw that running back release motion's it's pretty distinctive.
Yeah.
So if you've seen it once, you've seen it 1,000 times. We almost had a pick six house call for the Junior Mustangs there, but 2nd and 10 for the Essex Ravens
He had
here.
one last week.
He did, I think. Yeah, you're right. And you know how I saw that? Because I follow the London Football TV's Instagram page, and I see all the highlights of the game. So if you're not following them, give them a follow on Instagram as well, London Football TV. And you're going to catch up and stay in touch with all the top football highlights from the summer and fall season by following us online, on YouTube, subscribing, and on Instagram, London Football TV. And you can be in the know. You don't want to be the guy that misses out. Don't be the guy that didn't know about the great game or the great play when you go to school on Monday because you don't follow London Football TV. So make sure you're giving them a follow. Ron, I know you're not a big Instagram guy yourself. I know you're still into the old MySpace. And your MySpace account's still pretty, you got 2 followers, but you might want to think about getting some Instagram and giving those guys a follow if you haven't already because it's
for
great.
the record, one of the followers is my mom, so I appreciate her liking that. 3rd down here, and the Essex Ravens go.
Intercepted!
Wow.
Jacob Rowley says, hey, I think I'm going to get one, and I got one. Interception. Junior Mustangs have dominated the first game.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you're a big fan of the old show Desperate Housewives. We got Desperate Ravens here. They got to get something going because this one is this is about 1 score away from becoming this is it's going to get ugly fast.
I don't recall a game between the varsity Ravens and Mustangs that went into runtime.
You don't usually I was just going to say, you don't usually see games like this between these two teams. You usually, regardless of record, you kind of set yourself up that this one's going to be a battle.
Yeah.
But we got a situation here where with 2 minutes left in the first half, 3 minutes left in the first half, we could be facing runtime at some point. What a throw over the middle. Deep in route to Rowan Pierce. And that's going to be a huge chunk. And
there's the 6th receiver who's,
And I mean, he's your 6th receiver, and he's like 6'5", so he's a huge target on the dig route. London Junior Mustangs looking very crisp right now. Essex Ravens desperately need a stop here. We might be home by 9, Ron. 8:53. You might be in bed by 10:15 if this thing keeps going the way it is. We might have a run clock at some point, pretty quick, but still a lot of football to be played. Sweeney in at quarterback, Sweeney at quarterback. Looks like White Cross at tailback. 3 receivers top of the screen. Drake Logan at number 3 spot. Going to take a shot here to McBurney. Touchdown.
Okay. This is absolutely set up by an unselfish block by Wyatt Cross. The outside blitzer's coming right there. Picks it up, understands his responsibility, gives Sweeney the time to deliver that ball downfield. It's a great route, but it's a great block. And I love to see unselfish play like that. It's either a receiver blocking downfield or a back picking up a blitzer. Those are the plays that allow that celebration at the end.
Protection is a huge chunk of the game at the running back position as you move up levels. And if you can't protect the quarterback, you're probably not going to play the higher level you get. 31-0, 31-0, Junior Mustangs. It's 31-0. I think our score says 32, but we're pretty confident it's 31.
Well, it is 31, but that's Cantor.
Cantor. Hey, the price is right. He works for the right price, right? So we won't give him that hard of a time. But it's 31-0 for the Junior Mustangs.
And his giant jug of silver water that he's got.
You should see how much water this kid is drinking. He's literally got like a Culligan bottle full of water. It's like 12 liters of water.
And it's silver and it's shiny.
He's been in the bathroom 9 times so far. We've only been here for 2 hours. Just teasing you, buddy. He loves it. We got 31-0 Junior Mustangs. 2:22 left in the first half. If I had to describe this game in one word, I would say dominant. If I had to describe it in 2 words, I would say absolutely dominant for the Junior Mustangs, which is surprising. We've talked about this a million times. Usually these games, when these two teams face off, regardless of records, are pretty tight. And it's just, hey, down year for the Ravens, but they'll be strong. You know, they're battling to make the A playoffs. If not, they'll go down to the second round of playoffs, the second tier playoffs, and they'll play their butts off. Because one thing about Coach Mills is those guys are going to play their butts off, and don't be surprised to see them come out of the second tier playoffs if that's the route they have to go with a championship at the end of the year. So, you know, kudos to those guys because they're still playing hard regardless of score. But it's 31-0 here with 2 minutes left in the half. 32.
For the record, Cantor had
Holy
it right
crow.
all along.
Oh, I got to eat crow. Cantor, I'll tell you what. If we get to runtime, I'll give you 30 seconds on the mic. You can say anything you want about me, okay? In the fourth quarter.
I won't.
But,
just for the record,
no
I won't
swearing.
give it to you.
And it's got to be nice. But, yeah. Hey, my bad. My bad. 32-0 Junior Mustangs. Cantor was right after all, and that's why we pay him the big bucks. He gets 2 Gatorades tonight. I get 1.
He gets Ron's second Gatorade.
He's allowed to have an extra slice of the pizza as well, if you're inclined.
I'd offer him cake, but that's just not going to happen.
Our production crew is second to nobody. We talked about this earlier. This production quality is better than some mid-major college football games I watched late on a Saturday night. You know the old bettors games when you put a couple bucks on who's the 2 terrible teams? Buffalo versus Fresno State, 10 o'clock on a Saturday night.
Kent State out.
Kent State versus
Kent
State versus the Cardinals from Ball, Muncie, Indiana.
Oh, they used to be good though.
They did. Second down for the junior Essex Ravens, trying to take a shot into the corner. Josiah says, no, thank you, not in my area. And it'll be 3rd down and long here as the Essex Ravens send out the punt team. And here's a situation now, Ron, where a Junior Mustangs field goal to end the half puts us in run time in the second half. And it could be an early night to bed for the Ron Forwerda. Might be tucked in tight by 10:30 if this game starts to keep creeping the way we think it's going to go, which could be a run time.
And for the record, he is really okay with that.
Ron Forwerda loves nothing more than an early night to bed. A great football game, couple good punts, throw a couple
field goals,
couple good field goals and some out routes to the flat, and then tuck him into bed by 10:30, and that's how you keep Ron Forwerda happy. Junior Mustangs on defense have been dominant so far. They call timeout there as their shorter returner. Looks like Wyatt Cross is the player heading out there. Might have been a little bit too...
Who called the timeout? I think Essex actually called the timeout.
Ooh, interesting. The Ravens call a timeout, eh? Might be
they are pointing against London.
Yeah, I think it was London because they're a short returner. You definitely want to have your 2 returners on the field for punt. You don't want that ball bouncing around back there.
So 2:06 left to go in the half. 32-0 coach. Essex, what do we got to do here? Put your coaching hat on. Not that there's a lot of adjustments to make after 32-0. What do you say to your team at half?
I think what I say at half, if I'm the Essex Ravens, is basically like, hey, all we care about in the second half is effort.
Yeah.
We're not worried about the score. We're just let's just play the best ball we can play, and let's just make sure when we watch the film, tomorrow, Monday night, whenever we watch it, that we see extreme effort in the second half. And there's going to be probably some young guys getting some opportunities at some point if this game continues the way we think it's probably going to go and the way it's gone so far and the way it's going right now with Rowley up the sidelines, and he's 1 block away from scoring as well. But regardless, he puts the Junior Mustangs in amazing field position of the 15-yard line. But you want to see great effort. You don't want to see guys quitting. You want to make sure that the sideline demeanor stays upright. Because basically, like we talked about, hey, if you're at Essex Ravens, you're not going to quit. You're never going to get the Essex Ravens to quit. Coach Mills will keep his guys playing their butts off till the end of the last whistle, the final play, regardless if it's A playoffs, B playoffs, C, or D. He's going to have his guys ready to go. Yeah. At some point, they're going to play a football game in a playoff setting, and no matter what tier it is or whatnot, they're going to play to win. And so basically, you're just looking for which of the guys on this team that really care. Who's really committed to being an Essex Raven? It's a proud program. They've been very successful for a long time. It's a bit of a down year for them, and they're, from what I understand, they're very young. And, sometimes a couple guys get hurt. You miss out on a couple guys. A couple guys don't play the think, and it changes the dynamics of your team. But regardless, they'll keep battling, and they'll be back next year as strong as ever as the Junior Mustangs throw another touchdown CJ Reed. There's a flag on the play. Is there? No?
Far side.
Far side flag on the play. Could be offside.
Yeah.
If it's on the Mustangs, it's coming back. If it's on the Ravens, we're going to be in a runtime situation
It's against the Mustangs.
against the Mustangs, which brings us back. If you sense the disappointment from Ron, he's really looking forward to
Runtime.
getting under that blanket and having a good little snooze tonight. Good little snooze. And Father's Day tomorrow, so happy Father's Day, early Father's Day to all the dads out there, all the football dads supporting their boys on the field.
You as well, Coach.
This is my second one. We're looking forward to it tomorrow. We're gonna have a nice little Father's Day breakfast with my young one, and then we'll get out and do some fun stuff with the family. But the dads are an important part of what we're doing here. A lot of dads coaching, a lot of dads bringing the kids to practice. Touchdown, Junior Mustangs. Got Drake up the sidelines again. Run time, Ronnie.
That's just a scissor exchange route, and it's just a simple cross. And again, they're not tracking the motion or the crossing patterns.
They are.
They're just getting caught up in that.
I was just thinking they're having a lot of trouble with the like the motions and the switch releases, all the stuff that the Junior Mustangs are doing. And Coach Kirk is just throwing motion at them. Like every play's got somebody crossing the formation, saturating them with motion. So it's tough. It's a tough thing, and if you can't pick it up, it just continues to snowball. It's 38-0 at halftime here for the Junior Mustangs. Minute 41 left. We'll be in runtime. Block PAT there. That was really well timed out, by the way.
Yeah, it was. They've done that 3 times. And he finally got the timing down.
Well, there's a guy that's not quitting.
Yeah.
We're going to bring Coach Stenning up here for halftime, and we'll do a little interview in the start of the second half with Coach Stenning, the general manager of the Junior Mustangs football program, and we'll talk to him at the start of the second half about the game and the Mustangs program, and ask him some questions about the KJ Cares fundraiser initiative, and we'll just talk Junior Mustangs football for a little bit as we wrap up the first half here. 38-0 for the Junior Mustangs over the Essex Ravens. You never would have saw this coming. The only guy that saw this coming was Cantor. Actually predicted. He said, I bet it's 38-0.5. We said, you're crazy, Cantor. You're crazy, kid. He said, no, trust me. 38-0.5 Junior Mustangs. I said, I don't believe you. But he was right. I was wrong. So here we are, 38-0 for the Junior Mustangs at half. I think this might be the first time this rivalry's ever gotten a runtime in the history of football.
I don't remember, and that's I've been part of this rivalry for a long time as well. I don't remember this going at this point.
I'm surprised. I'm shocked
Not
at the
this
amount.
level.
I'm shocked at the amount of depth that the Junior Mustangs are just churning out. They have, as we got a great return here from the Ravens. Really nice return here from the Ravens. Over to the 35 to the 38. It'll be a face mask at the end of the play. I am very impressed by the amount of depth the Junior Mustangs are just able to churn out. Like we talked about the receiver depth. They got their 6th receiver in the game at some point catching 25-yard dig routes. They got 3 running backs that have gotten carries. They don't even have Roberts here. 2 quarterbacks have gone in and played really well. Defensively, they got probably the 2 best defensive linemen in the league playing to the wide side of the field. They got 4 or 5 guys playing defensive back that can all cover. So just a ton of depth here. This team looks like it's primed for another run to the OSFL AAA finals. And we'll just continue to see how they go as the season goes on. But they're getting better every week. Coach Kirk's doing a great job offensively. He's really got them going. They're starting to click, right? They're starting to click, Ron.
And about that, that playoff, that potential playoff run, you got 4 teams right now that are 3-1 in the West Division.
Mm-hmm.
Cambridge, Hamilton, Mustangs, and the surprise, the Niagara Spears.
There you go.
Who are here next week.
You might have a situation where you don't have to go through Essex. And when's the last time a playoff run for the Junior Mustangs didn't go through Essex?
Yeah.
So there you go. Strange things afoot in the OSFL AAA U18 West Conference. Minute 27 left in the first half as the clock ticks down to the halftime. 38-0 for the Junior Mustangs here. A real blowout. Unexpected blowout. I think everybody came thinking that this was going to be a bit of a heavyweight battle, and we got a real Tyson, Logan Paul type. What's the other one? The not the wrestler one.
Jake Paul.
We got like a Tyson Paul fight here. Hopefully nobody paid pay-per-view to watch this. I'd be asking for a refund. But if you're watching, please sure to click subscribe on the London Football TV channel. Ravens throw a quick screen to the short side of the field. Breaks free for a first down. That'll keep the chains moving for the Ravens. They're not quitting. I'll tell you that. The one thing about the Ravens, they're not quitting on this. They're going to keep playing hard till the final whistle, regardless of the score.
They're going to block. They're going to run. They're going to run their offense. They're going to play football the way that the Ravens always play football, which is usually very tough and very physical brand.
Yeah. And that's one of the keys for their program for having such success for such a long time. It's just the continuity of, they got a strong leader at the top who really, he knows how he wants to run his program. Coach Mills does a great job. And like we said, it's a down year for them this year, but they won't be down for long. Junior Mustangs on defense here. Bringing 4. Thompson is getting after it, pushing the quarterback up the pocket. Great tackle there from, is that
number 40?
Is that David Kindry? He was all over it. David Kindry sniffs it out. He's a Waterloo commit, if I recall correctly, out of Banting. And I think he's a guy that you want to keep your eye on because I thought he had a pretty good high school career. And he looks pretty strong playing linebacker there with a great tackle. The defense for the Junior Mustangs is fierce, not only in the defensive front, the front 4, but secondary is pretty strong too. Haggerty's had a great year. Every time I go on Instagram, I see Haggerty with another highlight he's posting. And another prom invite picture he's posting as well. Hopefully he rewatches this and hears my comments and says, that old Coach Schneider, he's a funny guy. Secondary, they're pretty strong as well.
Yeah.
Josiah, he's pretty good at corner. They got Rowley's been the player of the game on defense so far, in my opinion. Like he's made 3 or 4 great plays, including 2 picks in a row. The one he dropped on the short screen, and he came back and took the pick 6 the next play. He's pretty good. And then defensive line, like, wow. Thompson, Gower, Cantor, Wowie. The plethora of talent for the Junior Mustangs runs abundant for Coach Haldenby, the defense coordinator.
And again, this is very much like Essex. This was kind of thought of as, kind of a rebuilding year after their AAA championship last year. And so many kids graduating out of the program, they just picked up exactly where they left off and just continue to roll.
Junior Mustangs don't rebuild, they just reload. 2nd and 5, back to pass. Oh my gosh. Was that Rowley again?
Yeah, it was.
Rowley almost had another one. That would have been a 3rd interception.
You got roughing the passer, though.
Roughing the passer. Is that Andre?
I think so.
What did he do? Throw the tackle into the quarterback? Holy crow. He was all over it. They're bringing 3 and getting pressure there on the 2nd down play for the Junior Mustangs. Coach Haldenby gets them in their dime package and rushes 3, and they're still getting pressure, which is impressive because when you can get pressure with 3 rushers, it's pretty tough to find windows to throw the ball in if you're a quarterback, especially facing this purple defense of doom. We got about 31 seconds left in the half. 38-0. Junior Mustangs are up by a bunch, and we'll see a runtime second half, which means Ron will be in bed by about 10:15, which is good for him.
Give me a chance to put my feet up when I get home.
Yeah, have a little relax, you know. Check out the old UFL highlights. See who won the UFL championship tonight.
That's tomorrow,
is it tomorrow? Oh, that's good for me because hey, happy Father's Day to me. I'll be watching some minor league football on television because that's what I like to do, watch minor league football. I'm a football nerd. CFL game tonight. A couple big CFL games. I think Ticats are playing at 7 against the Rough Riders.
Yep.
And somebody played at 4. BC Lions, maybe?
No,
Toronto played at 4. We'll see the scores of them. Actually, I don't want to see the scores. I taped it. I'm going to watch when I get home. A lot of football for me tonight. 31 seconds left. 38-0 Junior Mustangs lead. We're here live on London Football TV. If you haven't hit subscribe, go ahead and punch that subscribe button right now. And let's keep Mr. Melrose churning out the football content every single day. We want to get him to a situation where he can quit his job and just become a full-time content creator. He'll make football videos and do some TikTok dances on the side, and he'll be making bank on his YouTube channel. But you got to hit subscribe to make that happen. So if you want to see Coach Melrose dancing, click subscribe and tune into London Football TV on YouTube. Essex Ravens quarterback scrambles on 1st down. He's going to be just past the 1st down marker. The clock will stop with the Ravens inside the 10. And, inside the 15, just starting to knock on the window. This is the best drive they've had so far, the closest they've been to the London end zone all game.
Essex just called their final timeout.
Essex calls their final timeout. 24 seconds left. The clock will continue to run even though they close the score under 35, correct? It's a runtime situation now. And regardless of the score, if the Essex is able to close it, continues to run. So that's good news for Ron, because he's really looking forward to an early night. And we want to make sure we get him all tucked in before 11, or he turns into a werewolf. So Let's get that clock running on the run time. I'm just teasing you. Lots more football to go for Junior Mustangs and Essex Ravens fans watching live on London Football TV. And if you haven't, if you just tuned in tonight, we got a great initiative going tonight. We're running KJ Cares fundraiser drive. KJ Cares Foundation is a fundraiser in memorial of a great friend and a big guy in terms of London football, a guy that had a lot of influence over the Junior Mustangs program. Coach KJ Kennedy, who passed away a few years very suddenly and left us far too soon. It's a fundraiser aimed at raising funds to help offset the costs for players who have financial difficulties that may restrict their ability to play football. So one of the things Coach Kennedy was really adamant about was that football finances should never be an obstacle to having a young guy or a young gal able to join the field and be a part of the Junior Mustangs program. And we want to make sure that we're able to provide opportunities for as many players as we can. So by you donating to this fundraiser, you're going to help us make sure that those guys never, and I say guys, I mean guys and gals, are never have an obstacle in terms of finances that would restrict them from playing ball. Football should be for everybody, and you can help us out by donating today. So go ahead and click that super thanks button and donate 99 cents or $99 or anything in between, and we're happy to have you. And every donation today, we'll give you a shout out on the screen. And I'm pretty sure we're starting to get close to our goal of $50 for the stream, but we need a little bit more. So don't be afraid to really jump in there and donate and help us get over the top today. And all the money goes to a great cause in support of a great man. If you played for him, you were coached by him, or you coached with him, feel free to donate today and have a couple minutes to think about our good friend Jay. Essex Ravens quarterback scrambles, throws the ball to flats. Going to be tackled. He'll stay in bounds, so the clock will run. 12 seconds left. Essex Ravens need to get on the ball because the clock is going to start on the ready for play. They need to get on the ball and call a play if they want to get one before half here.
Third down, too.
Third down, so they got to call something to. You probably want to take a shot in the end zone here because I don't know if you're going to get a chance. You might have 2 plays left. If you get a first down, you can get on the ball. You probably have time for one more play. The clock is now in for ready. It's winding down. They got a lot of motion, so they're confused on how to align. This will be the last play of the half now with the way they're having trouble getting aligned. Got to take your shot in the end zone. Hopefully they got something called. Quarterback back to pass. He's got all the receivers breaking. Oh, my gosh. Rally was gone. If he had that one, he would have been gone city, but unfortunately drops it. And that's halftime. Junior Mustangs lead 38-run. 38-0 Junior Mustangs at half. I can't believe I'm saying it.
No, I've not seen one this one-sided in a very, very long time. But again, the Essex Ravens, just like on that last play, they continue the battle. Coach Schneider, I'm taking my headset off, handing it over to Coach Stenning.
Yeah, we're going to be back.
Join us for a little bit here.
We're going to be back with Coach Stenning after halftime in about 10 minutes or so. So you got a couple minutes to go, and then we'll be back with Coach Stenning on the ones and twos for a little interview, and we'll talk some Junior Mustangs ball and just kind of get a look behind the curtain of what's happening in Junior Mustangs land. Back in a few minutes. Junior Mustangs lead 30-0 over the Essex Ravens at U18. All right, we're back for second half action. Junior Mustangs U18 football, Ontario Summer League football action live from the Alumni Stadium at the beautiful campus of Western Ontario. Junior Mustangs lead 38-0 over the Essex Ravens on a beautiful Saturday night here. We got some runtime action. So win in a long tradition of sports blowouts. We're going to do some interviews. We got Mike Stenning, general manager of the London Junior Mustangs, and he's going to join us in the booth for a little bit. We're just going to talk Junior Mustangs football. So, Coach Stenning, welcome to the booth.
Coach Schneider, great to see you again. I just want to say thank you to the crew here tonight for live streaming this. I know there's a lot of people down in Windsor that wanted to pick up and watch the game, and some people at home here in London. So we really appreciate what you guys do for us, for the program, and for football in London. So Coach Melrose, I know you can hear me listening in on our conversation, and I really appreciate what you do for the program and for the football in our community.
It's a great program. I walked in the door. First thing I saw was like, holy crow, there's a ton of volunteers here. And I mean, a lot of people, when they watch the game, they see the football on the field. But why don't you talk a little bit about like what goes on behind the scenes to make sure that these games are able to happen so the guys and the gals are able to play football in a great professional environment?
There's a fantastic crew of volunteers that are pretty consistent here on a weekly basis. And I know if I start rhyming off names, I'm sure I'm going to miss somebody. But, Joe Gregorio sets up the field. Him and Bob, they kind of work the nuts and bolts behind the stadium here, and they just make sure that everything looks good on the field. We got Jen Selby. She's running around doing just about everything she can to make sure that everybody gets their needs met on both ends of the field. Stephanie Davis is sort of our game day coordinator, and she really organizes all of our parent volunteers that come in. We have volunteers that are working the gate for us. She looks after them. We have Ann Ease at the hub. Ann is, I think Ann's been here longer than any of us. She's been a big part of this program, and she runs the hub for us, and concessions, sells jerseys, and then just a great group of parents that are here all the time. We got our other manager is down on the sideline somewhere, Mike Valenza. He's taking pictures, and he kind of tells us what to do. Our managers for the team, our trainers for the team. Matt, I can't say enough good things about our volunteers and our support staff on this club.
It's really like an army of people to all working together towards a common goal of making sure that the players have the best football environment and the best football opportunities and the best football experience we can possibly provide. And I think it's one of the reasons why the football experience that players get in this program, and you correct me if I'm wrong, is second to nobody in the province. And I don't think there's anybody in the province. There's a lot of great programs in the province. We're not saying that, but I don't think anybody's providing quite what the Junior Mustangs are to their players.
I think, Matt, what we try and do is we try and provide full service for our athletes and for the families. And what I mean by that is, when you're 9 years old, you can start playing summer football. And we offer that team. We offer that at 2 levels. We have U12s at 2 levels. We have U14 at 2 levels. We've got a lot of kids in London that want to play football. And so we want to make sure that we have an opportunity for them. So, we spare no expense on equipment. We make sure that we are recertifying our equipment and buying new equipment every year. We try and get a couple new sets of uniforms every year to make sure our kids look sharp because, as I always say, look good, feel good, play good.
For sure.
And I think that's a big part of the organization as well. And, the other thing too is when a team comes in here and sees the facilities that we're able to play in, we practice here too.
Yeah.
So our kids are used to this. We're homers. We love to play at home. We love to practice at home, and this is a big part of who we are.
Junior Mustangs are going to kick off here. We'll go back to the field, and then we'll return Coach Stenning in a second to talk more Junior Mustangs football. But 38-0 as we kick off the second half here. We'll likely have a runtime clock as per the timing rules in amateur football in Ontario. Anytime there's a 35-point or more differential, the clock will run to essentially, try to eliminate some of those blowout games. Junior Mustangs kick off to Essex here, who fields it on the 8-yard line. They're going to run a reverse here on the return, and he's got some space here. But, oh, my gosh, heat-seeking missile comes out of nowhere for the tackle. That looked like it was 53. I'm still learning the numbers. Jonathan Tishabu with the tackle there. I probably didn't say that name correctly, but Coach Stenning, okay, 38-0. Junior Mustangs over Essex. We were talking about this before the first half ended. Been a long time since we've seen a game like this. You've seen the Junior Mustangs U18 program for the last couple of years. Talk to us a little bit about this year's team and, what are the differences between last year's and what are the prospects of this team kind of making a return to the championships?
Yeah, I think any time that we start a program here, regardless of the age, that's the goal by the end of the season. And we've got a lot of kids that were on that championship team last year that maybe didn't have starting roles that have moved into a starting role. They saw the kids ahead of them, and they wanted to be that.
Essex on offense, turns, hands the ball up at the middle. They got that Bronco play here. Big run for a first down. Yeah, it could be short, about a yard short. As Essex comes out on offense, trying to get something going and get on the scoreboard. 38-0 as the clock ticks down. Second half of U18 action. We got a Junior Mustangs program here that's, talked about the volunteers being a huge part of the program and doing all the stuff behind the scenes that is required. You got great players on the field. One of the things that doesn't get probably enough recognition is the coaching staff. You got a great coaching staff at the U18 level. Talk to us a little bit about the coaching staff and, some of the changes they've made or what they're doing to provide the best opportunity for success for the players at U18.
Yeah, we have a coaching director, Adrian Kaiser. I did forget to mention him earlier. He's down on the sidelines with the guys right now, and he kind of answers any needs that we have with our coaching staff. So down here we got our head coach back, our offensive coordinator, and our defensive coordinator. They're all back, so that provides continuity for the team. So they're not learning a whole new system every season. These guys have been a part of the program for a number of years now. A lot of the assistants that have been here for a number of years, Depeche is down there, Zach Marcus is down there. They've been a big part of the program. And they've been around. Now our additions this year, Greg's little brother Luke back in Canada. Luke Wilson he's a coach with the receivers, and he coaches with fire. He's got these kids learning every week, and kids love to come to practice and learn from him.
First down for the Essex Ravens here. 3 receivers top of the screen. Snap to the quarterback, turns, hands off to the running back. He's around the right side. Gain of 4. Essex hasn't quit. They're still churning here. Great rivalry here. You get players that come into this program, and you mentioned this earlier, at 9 years old. And the goal, I would imagine, is to keep them in the program until they turn 18 and at some point move on to the OUA level if at Western or at one of the other teams in the OUA or across Canada university football. Why is it important that you get players in at age 9 and keep them until 18? Why is that such an important part of the program that the Junior Mustangs provide?
Well, I think the big thing for football and for kids is you got to set the hook early. We want them to love football. And really, football is a sport of second chances, and we have a lot of kids that are coming from other competitive programs, whether they be soccer.
Interception for Jacob Brawley. Could be a pass interference on the play. He has had a great game. Sorry.
No, this is great, and I don't want to take away from the kids that are on the field. Jacob Rowley has an amazing day. I've been able to watch him grow as an athlete, both here and in the high school. So I love to see success out there.
Mm-hmm. Well, we'll see how the flag play out. Looks like a pass interference on defense, which will march the ball at 15 yards. It'll be a first down for Essex. Essex has come out in the second half, a little bit of fire underneath their butts, trying to move the ball. They got one of their most consistent drives all game. Quarterbacks finding the throws. We'll see if the Junior Mustangs can keep the shutout. Looks like the Junior Mustangs have made some substitutions, and great opportunity here to get a lot of your young guys who have practiced all year, some valuable game experience. You might need those guys as the season goes on. Depth is a big important part of championship teams' runs. Essex turns, hands the ball off to the right. No gain there. Be second down.
Our substitutions today will most likely come mostly on offense. One of the rules that we have in the OSFL is a points against in the tiebreaker. And as Ron alluded to earlier, with 3 teams all crowded around 3-1, if we go to the tie-breaking rules, we don't play a balanced schedule. We don't all play the same teams. It goes to your points against. So it's really difficult to make substitutions in the defense because you really can't afford to give up points. So our substitutions will come heavy on offense. I would assume in the first series that we see our group out there, you'll have some backups in.
Great point. We talked at halftime about the playoff structure and how the playoffs work in this league. It's a little different than what other leagues might be used to. Maybe you could give us a little bit of information on how the playoffs work so the parents watching kind of have an idea what's going to happen as the playoff seedings and schedules start to get released.
Yeah, well, we're broken down into two conferences. We're in an East and a West conference. So within the West conference, the top 4 teams will play off in the first round. So the first will play 4th, second will play 3rd. And then in the second round of the playoffs, the winners of those will cross over and play the winners of the other division. And the travel will go to the lower seeded team that's in that bracket. So it's going to help avoid some travel costs. We had young teams driving as far as Ottawa for round 1 of the playoffs. It just didn't make sense to send families up there and have that great expense. But the goal is to have the 2 best teams playing each other in the championship. So we have to get a crossover at some point in the playoffs.
Great point there as Essex lines up to punt the ball here. Kick is up, high, booming punt. It'll be fielded at the 40-yard line, 45, caught clean. We got a good return up the sidelines here. Flag on the play, could be blocking the back. Junior Mustangs will take over on the 45-yard line pending assessment of the penalty. You like to bring in players at 9 years of old and keep them in the program. If you're a talking to a young mom or a young dad, and they're kind of thinking about what they want to do in terms of getting their son or daughter involved in football at a young age, what would you say to them to help convince them that this is a great choice for them?
Well, I think the first thing to do is get your children involved in the minor program in their community. So in our area, it's the LMFA. We want our kids to, sort of learn there and gain some experience, and then come on out with us in the summer. So the first thing to do is get out to the LMFA. They run some great camps. We also run a winter camp. We would encourage kids to try the camp first. And I think, this year I've been involved with the U10s. We had a little guy that came to camp this year. He cried for the first 2 nights, was afraid to go on there, and he's out playing with the big boys at U10. He's 8 years old out there playing with them, and he's having a great time and loves it. And every time he sees me, he's so happy to see Coach Mike, and it's just great to see those kids, sort of set that hook.
Yeah.
Find a love for a sport. Whether they stay with it for 10 years and make a career out of it is irrelevant. But I think the lessons that you learn on the team and on the field of playing football and playing for one another are lessons that are carried on through life.
So how can players sign up for the camp as they approach at the end of the season, high school, and we start to get into next winter? How can a player who's not playing Junior Mustangs currently get involved in the camps for next winter?
So we're pretty active on social media. We're active on Instagram, and I think if you just kind of keep an eye on the Junior Mustangs football club social media pages, you'll see sort of dates of our camps. Our camps generally run from the beginning of January till about March break, and then we take a few weeks off, and then we're into camp and tryouts here sort of at the beginning of April. We try and get going as close to April 1st as possible. We're out here on the turf. We're in, it's a little bit ironic that we're playing in the Ontario Summer Football League, but we're trying out in snow and rain and sleet. But that's just the life of a Canadian football player.
And so the league starts, you guys start tryouts outside in April. You start playing your games around early May. Playoffs start around end of June, if I recall correctly. And the season ends, by the start of August this year, which gives off families a chance to have some vacation time in August. I know that's a big change in the program. The league used to run well into the late summer, like August months, but it's ending a little bit earlier this year. Do you find that that's going to be more advantageous to players to maybe decide, hey, I do want to take the opportunity to play for the Junior Mustangs program?
Well, I hope so. I mean, we the head coach of the U18 team and I, Greg, we sit on a couple of the provincial bodies to sort of govern the league, and we've suggested that we try and get started on May 10th so that we can finish before the long weekend in August, and then families can have a good amount of time. It's good for our coaches because generally most of our coaches are coaching somewhere in the fall, so we'd really like to get 8 weeks of football all done and start May 10th. The difficulty is that we're a provincial league, so I don't think Sault Ste. Marie is starting football on May 10th. They're still shoveling snow, so we do have to accommodate some of our other centers. So. Although it might be okay for us folks that live down south, it's a little bit difficult for those that are up north. So we want to be fair to everybody. We don't all have turf facilities and places that we can go and play and start football early in May.
Sure. Now, a lot of the players on this U18 team are going to move on to university levels. A lot of them are going to go up, in August. They'll be reporting training camps. What's the relationship like with Western, and how, as players come through the program and move on to the next level, how does that seem to look?
Yeah, we have a great working relationship with the football team and program here, and we have sort of a direct connection with recruiting. And so it's great to see their coaches out at our games, and they want to sit and talk to our kids as much as possible. And so this is the opportunity where kids, high school football is important. It's a big piece of what we are as a community, and where a kid sort of gains that love for football. But when we start to play the best competition in the province, this is where we sort of separate the pack a little bit. So when you can see a player out here really doing well and competing on a provincial level, that really ups his opportunities for wherever it is in U Sports or CJFL, some kind of next level competition. A lot of these kids get a little bit enamored with the bright lights of the USA. We've got great football in Canada. It's a great place with the new rules that are in the NCAA. A kid can come and play U Sports football for 2-3 years and then go down and play NCAA and not lose any eligibility. So we really do have a good opportunity for kids to play and stay home.
You can't tell me that this level of football is any less than what they're playing in the States based on what I'm seeing. We got some great athletes out here, some amazing coaches. The professionalism of what the product is being presented is top notch. So I think if you're a football player in Canada, in London, Ontario, Junior Mustangs is a place you need to really take a serious look at. And, really, if you're thinking about going to the States, give these guys a look, because you can get a lot of experience here and a lot of great opportunities playing in this program in front of your friends and family. One of the things will be the last thing we talk about tonight before I let you get back. I know you got a lot of work to do as the game starts to wrap up. Is we've been promoting the KJ Cares fundraiser initiative, and obviously it's a fundraiser in memorial of a good friend of ours, Coach Kenemy, who passed away a few years ago suddenly. Talk a little bit about why this fundraiser, kind of how it came to fruition, why it's important that we carry on some of the things that Coach Jay really believed in terms of providing opportunities for players regardless of financial difficulties, and just speak to that a little bit for everybody watching the game today.
Yeah, Coach KJ was big on breaking barriers, whatever those barriers were. And, we're really looking at financial barriers right now, but even if it was a ride, if a kid needed a ride, if a kid didn't know how to throw a football, if a kid didn't know have a pair of cleats, he would take care of kids. He made sure that everybody had the opportunity to play football. And he was such a big loss to the program. He's only been gone for a few years, but a lot of the kids don't know him and haven't had him as a coach. I would say, a good portion of these kids that are out here right now in the U18 program at some point have played for Coach KJ.
Yeah.
And so, they know who he is. They know what he's done. But, our U10 kids, they see KJ on the back of the helmet and they say to me, who is this? And so it's great to tell them the story of who Coach KJ is and what he meant to the program. And I think everybody that's sitting in this room right now has been touched by him. And it was a big loss for us. So we went out of it. We knew it was a no-brainer that we had to get something in our program and name it in memory of him for all the care that he had for the kids. And we've had some tremendous donations. Today, there was one of our families was making bracelets, and Windsor came in and spent a bunch of money. I think they made almost $900 towards the KJ Cares Fund just to put towards. That's going to cover a kid's registration for football, and it's going to
Interception
here
here.
we go.
Alejandro Rivera with the interception. He's going to go back inside the 25. Junior Mustangs continue to pile on the pressure here on the Essex Ravens. As this game ticks down, that'll be the end of the third quarter here. 38-0 for the Junior Mustangs. We got Coach Stenning in the stand or in this booth here talking with us. Coach Stenning, last question. This is kind of your chance to recruit all the guys out there, all the players, all the gals watching that aren't playing Junior Mustangs for some reason. Why should a person, a parent, a player consider the Junior Mustangs program? What makes the Junior Mustangs program stand out versus all the other options out there for football and sports in general in London?
Well, I think, you look at a night like tonight, where else would you want to spend a Saturday night right here other than with you and I, Matt? I mean, this is just a great place to be. But all kidding aside, just for terms, if you want to be recruited, if you want to have an opportunity at the next level, you're going to get high-level coaching here. You're going to have access to the Western meeting rooms. We have Huddle Up. We go through Huddle with our kids. We prepare for every game. We are a true football program at all facets. We take feedback from our coaching director. We try and we struggle at some levels at some years. And we are always looking to advance our coaching. We're always looking to advance our players. And we are always looking to get them on to the next level, whatever that next level is.
Touchdown, Junior Mustangs. Nate finds Simon Purdy there. Is that Simon Purdy, or am I looking at the wrong roster?
You're looking at the wrong roster. That's the U16.
Isaac Clavitt with the touchdown as the Junior Mustangs continue to pile on the points. 44-0 pending the PAT. This is a shocker. I'll be honest. I did not see that this game getting to be this out of hand. But regardless, we got great football action. Coach Stenning, thanks for joining us today.
Coach Snyder, thanks for being here.
Awesome
Ron,
to have you up here. We'll bring Ron back, and we got 10 minutes and change left in this game. Junior Mustangs lead 44-0 as the second half continues to wind down. We've been in run time for half of the game. The Junior Mustangs took a 38-0 lead at halftime, and this is a barn burner for one team. Unfortunately, Essex has just not been their night, Ron. And welcome back to the booth. We got 10 minutes left. It's 9:41. We should get straight time pending some sort of injury or major penalty application. If everything goes according to plan, you should be in your car by 9:55, tucked into bed by about 10:10.
About 10:30.
And about right out of sleep. You're gonna have a little relax before maybe pour yourself a nice ice cold Coke and
maybe something like that.
And then
I want to go back to something that Coach Stenning was saying. You asked the question of him, why should somebody play here?
Yeah.
And again, let me offer my 2 cents.
Sure.
Onto that. Number one, you play here. Turf Field, University Stadium. sounds, lights, like the lighting system, and it sounds so simple, but the lighting system here gives you a true, like it gives you great sight lines, playing the game and everything else. It's at the Western Campus. You've got great stands. You've got facilities here. The film room. The film room upstairs is next level. Okay. The locker rooms they were able to get access to locker rooms. I'll give you one that's kind of out of left field.
Sure.
Not to pat ourselves on the back, but we do this.
Yeah.
Okay. So we stream, whether it's with a full broadcast crew
Yep.
or a basic stream.
Yep.
We stream all the JV and all the varsity games.
Yeah.
There's not a place other than maybe Windsor that does that.
It's a fully enveloping program where a player can come in at age 9 and leave at 18, hopefully to the London Beefeaters. That's a shameless plug. And just get a great football opportunity. It's a program that I was a part of for many years, and we had a lot of success. Obviously, we capped our time together with a U18 AAA championship, 10-0 on the field, undefeated. I like to remind people of that.
Yep.
Because some people still tell me not a very good coach, but that's okay. But yeah, it's a great program. It's very professionally run. You get the feeling when you walk in here that you're part of something that's like, this is big time. There's something special going on tonight. This is a big time football game, and so it's a great program. And just even like looking down at the field and seeing the uniforms, and everybody's so clean, and you don't see anybody with like different color socks or T-shirts on. Everybody's wearing the team colors.
Helmets.
Yeah, helmets. Or everybody's got a purple helmet with the stickers. It's a really professionally run program, and it's a great place to play. And that's not a knock on the other programs. Not everybody's fortunate enough to have access to the resources the Junior Mustangs have, but they have access to those resources, and they're taking advantage of it, and they shouldn't have to apologize for having being able to provide such a great program. And I think there's a lot of people behind the scenes doing a lot of hard work to make this program run. Coach Stenning, Mike Valenza is a guy that doesn't get nearly enough credit, but he does a ton of work that nobody even sees. All of the managers, the volunteers, kind of like running the table. That table doesn't run unless people show up and set it up, and you can't buy the gear unless someone comes and sets it up and lays it out nice and is willing to sit there and run the cash register and that type of stuff. So it starts from the top. The registration that needs to be done. Like, there's a lot of administrative work. Somebody's got to book the buses. Somebody's got to book the referees. Somebody's got to make sure the medics have tape.
Somebody's got to book the practice fields here on a Tuesday and Thursday night. Someone's got to book the games. Someone's got to coordinate with the volunteers. It takes an army to build a village.
It does.
It really does. And the testament to the Mustang organization is their volunteers. And I've been involved with other organizations and this one for many, many years. The volunteers at this one, at this level, are at this organization are next to none.
And across the city, there's other programs doing the same thing, working their butts off to provide their kids the best opportunity they can. I know the program I'm involved with right now has a dedicated group of volunteers as well. But there's centers like this across the province. Essex Ravens are running the same type of opportunities in there. So there's a lot of great programs providing great football opportunities across the province of Ontario. We just happen to live in London, and we love the Junior Mustangs, and we're going to support those guys. But we're going to be out there supporting other teams as well. So football is the best sport in the world to play. I'm happy to be involved in it, and I want to do what I can to support it. And anytime I get a chance to see guys playing football, gals playing football, I want to support those guys and make sure that they're having a great time as well. So kudos to everybody running the show. Let's get back to the game for the last 5 minutes or so, Ron. 45-0. It's been an absolutely one-sided affair. The clock is ticking because we're in run time now. Just kind of overall review of the game. What have you seen from the Junior Mustangs that has allowed them to jump out to a 45-0 lead?
The dominance of the defensive line early and often. And I shouldn't say just the defensive line. The dominance of the lines, offensive and defensive lines for the Mustangs that's been for me the story of the game. They're getting pressure on Essex, rushing 3.
Yeah.
Like they're rushing 3.
Rushing 3.
There's 8 and 9 in coverage.
Yeah.
And they still are getting there.
It's very impressive. Their defensive line is very strong.
The concepts the Mustangs are running offensively not only are they very good, but they're also somewhat basic. Okay, it's power, it's zone. It's not trying to overcomplicate things. It's not trying to, you know, hey, let's bring this over here and let's make it look like this. No, we're running power. We're running Zora. We're running Zipper. We're running like this is what we are, and this is what we're going to do.
Yeah.
It's almost like when I watch it, it's almost like that the old saying is like, I'm going to give you my playbook. Here it is. Now I'll tell you what I'm going to run, but you still got to stop it.
Absolutely.
And I love that about how I've seen this team develop. And again, week one, it was a tough loss against Hamilton in Hamilton. Hey, if that game's played now, it might be a different result. If that game was played the following week, it might have been a different result.
Absolutely.
Regardless, Hamilton got the early up. Then the next week, the Mustangs went in and battled a really good Cambridge team.
Yeah.
And came away
absolutely.
with a win.
Yep.
So they had two, arguably, of the top teams in the conference right off the hop, and they split it.
And that's one of the things we said. There's no off weeks in this conference.
No.
Like, it's every week you're playing somebody really good and really well coached if you're at the AAA level. Now, let's change topics for a sec. If you're Essex, where does it go from here? Because not only is this a tough loss, this is a tough loss to a team that you really don't like too much. So where does it go from here for the Ravens?
It's got to be, I don't want to say it like this, but it's got to be a low level. Look, guys, it's got to get better from here. This is what we need to do. Much like the Mustangs have done, maybe we try to simplify things. Maybe we try to, we try to get, let's get back to doing what we do really well. And let's emphasize a couple things. Number one, I'm not even sure if I put the film on for the kids to watch.
Fair enough. Could be a situation where you just say, "Hey, we're just going to look tonight. We're going to get ready for next week."
We're getting ready for our next game.
Yeah.
We know where we are now in the grand scheme of things. They're going to be probably playing on the road week one of the playoffs, and it could be against a very good team. So we kind of know at this point it's Hamilton, London, Cambridge, Niagara. We don't know how that's going to fall. Niagara's a surprise team for me.
Yeah.
And them going in and the odd team out of this is going to be Burlington.
Yep.
Which is a very, very good team. But that was kind of like, when I look at this offense and everything, that was kind of where everything kind of changed, because Burlington was coming in 2-0. They were ranked number 1 in the province at that point.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, the Mustangs kind of laid it on to them, especially in the second half. It clicked, and you could see it kind of clicking and everything working at once. This is going to be a really, really tough team to play, either on the road or at home.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter where they're going to play. If these guys get 2 home games, they're going to be playing in Kingston on the 25th.
There you go. Well, they're back at home next Saturday, 5 o'clock for U18 football. Junior Mustangs take on the Niagara Spears, and then at 8 o'clock, the U16 team will play as well. So they're going to flip-flop the start times and give the U16 the chance to play under the lights next Saturday night. And
we do that every year.
It's
like
a great,
one game.
It's a great opportunity
great
for
experience
give the
kids.
U16 teams. Yeah, absolutely. Give the U16 teams a chance to play under the lights, and it gives the U18 kids a chance to have a Saturday night. They can go out with their friends and do something fun. So, great chance there. And if you like football, come on out next week. And are we doing a stream next week? Is there a basic stream or?
We're going to talk to Coach Stenning about possibly doing the. Right now, it was just a basic stream, but kind of the way the records were going and everything else, I'm like, no, we need to put that out there.
Somebody will be showing something on London Football TV, and you can follow along by clicking subscribe right now if you haven't. And we got about a minute left in the game, so it's your last chance to make a donation to the KJ Cares fundraiser, which is our fundraiser this year being used to raise money in memorial of KJ Academy that'll be used to help offset the cost for players that may face financial difficulties or financial obstacles that might restrict their ability to play for the Junior Mustangs program. So it's something we've been promoting all night. And if you're able to make a donation, we got about a minute left in the game. So get out your credit card out and make a donation in memorial of Coach Academy.
That's a great
as the Junior
pass.
Mustangs have very close to another touchdown there. But just on behalf of everybody, we want to thank you for tuning in to London Football TV. It's been 2 great games. Junior Mustangs are going to take the win here. It's 45-0 for Junior Mustangs over Essex Ravens at the U18 level. Could be another score on the horizon before the clock strikes 0, but with the clock ticking down 16, 15, 14, this will likely be the last play, so they'll take a knee. So the Junior Mustangs are going to walk away with a huge win over their arch rival, the Essex Ravens, 45-0 on a beautiful Saturday night. That's it.
Yeah.
That's the final whistle.
So that's what they kind of do now. If you can't stop the clock or something else, and you indicate that we're just going to knee it out,
Yeah.
rather than go through the motions, they just
That's
wave the
smart.
flag.
Just avoiding situations that could be troublesome. But, well, Ron, if you told me at 5 o'clock that Junior Mustangs were going to beat Essex at the U18 45-0, I would have called you crazy.
Yeah.
But here we are at 9:52 p.m. The game is over, and we got a 45-0 Junior Mustangs win. Give me your final thoughts before we wrap up tonight, Ron.
It's a clean sweep for the Mustang organization over their rivals from down the 401 and the Essex Ravens. The Bantams won big today in a those are 2 very, very good teams who I think are on a collision course to see each other again down the line. The JVs, they struggled at times, but they righted the ship to get back into the playoff contention. And the varsity Mustangs continue to improve and continue to make a statement week after week after week going, you know what? The provincial championship still runs through London.
That's it. Well, on behalf of everybody here, including the Melrose family, and remember, what do they say? The family that streams together, the couple that streams together stays together. So on behalf of the Melroses, thanks for watching. Adam Melrose, our executive producer / cameraman / technology wizard, who's up in the top of the tower filming
The Crow's
diligently.
Nest.
He's the guy that brings you all the action on every stream you see. So if you see him in the stands or at a game, give him a thanks. Say, hey, thanks a lot for all you do, because without him, you'd literally be watching nothing right now. So Junior Mustangs TV wrapping up 45-0 for the U18 Mustangs over the Ravens from Essex tonight. And on behalf of Ron Ferwerda, I'm Matt Snyder. Thanks a heck of a lot for watching, guys. Thanks a lot.